A lot of people, they ask me after I've performed, they come up to me and they ask, hey, you didn't look nervous at all up there. Wow, how do you do it? Or do you still get nervous? Or do you still get stage fright when you're up on stage? And the answer is yes, I do.
She sang her way into millions of hearts on one of the biggest stages in the world. But that was only the beginning. Remember the tiny powerhouse with a golden smile and an even more golden voice? The one who brought judges to their feet and left audiences in tears? Years have passed since Angelica Hale first stunned the world on America's Got Talent. And while some child stars fade into memory, others evolve into something entirely unexpected. But what happened after the applause faded? Where did her voice take her? And how far has she come since that show-stopping finale? You might think you know her story, but there's one chapter that surprised even her most devoted fans. Get ready to follow the journey of a young girl who's not just chasing dreams. She's building something bigger. Angelica Hale's fight for her life. Angelica Hale's bicultural identity as a Filipino-American has always been a core part of her personal and artistic makeup, often shining through in her values of family and resilience. From an early age, Angelica displayed a natural talent for singing and performing, charming her family with impromptu performances at home. Her bright personality and love for music became evident long before she stepped onto any major stage. However, her childhood took a life-altering turn at just 4 years old when she was diagnosed with a rare bacterial infection that developed into double pneumonia. The infection escalated to sepsis, a dangerous condition that caused her kidneys and other organs to begin shutting down. Angelica was placed in a medically induced coma and required ECMO, extracorporeal membrane oxygenation, life support to survive. Her treatment included both hemodialysis and peritoneal dialysis, and she remained in the hospital for over 80 days, during which her body fought one of the most critical battles of her life. Angelica was then discharged after stabilization, but she could not avoid dialysis until she got a new kidney. She had had a life-saving act of love since her mother, Ava, was perfectly matched to donate a kidney to her, and she was operated on. The transplant was a success in September 2013, freeing Angelica from her unending cycle of dialysis. Thus began a long journey towards physical and emotional recovery. It not only started the rebirth of her health, but also set in motion a new chapter in her life. It also formed Angelica's view of life and became the nucleus of her advocacy fever. She has worked with the National Kidney Foundation as its first child ambassador, along with loud advocacy for the Sepsis Alliance and Children's Miracle Network hospitals. The story of personal adversity overcoming grave medical odds has been a shining light to many families with similar struggles. Through public speaking, charitable concerts, and health campaigns, Angelica continues to give back to the communities and causes that once saved her life. Little did anyone know, her greatest gift was about to be discovered, right where she almost lost everything. Discovery of her passion for singing. Angelica's love for music didn't begin with fame. It began in a hospital bed. During the darkest days of her illness, music became her emotional sanctuary. Her parents often recall how she would sing to lift her spirits, even while undergoing painful treatments. It was through this daily expression of hope and courage that Angelica discovered music was more than just entertainment. It was healing. Her earliest songs were captured on her father's phone and uploaded to YouTube, where they began garnering attention from well-wishers moved by her bravery and talent. One of her greatest inspirations was Whitney Houston. The first time she heard "Greatest Love of All," Angelica connected deeply with the lyrics and began emulating Houston's vocal techniques. Even at a young age, she understood and conveyed the emotional weight of the song she sang. This connection to music not only nurtured her vocal ability, but also deepened her emotional intelligence, an attribute that would become her trademark on stage. Whitney's legacy became a guiding star in her aspirations. In recognition of this passion, Angelica's parents had her enrolled for professional vocal lessons just after her recovery. She was trained by the best vocal coaches in Atlanta and started performing at local charity events, retirement homes, and foundation galas. Among her early performances were the Make-A-Wish Foundation Ball and at U.S. Open Men's semifinals, which gave her a feel of major public events. These were some of the earliest experiences to instill confidence and a sense of stage presence in her. even before she auditioned on national television. Music became much more than a hobby. It was Angelica's cause. She has asserted that her love of singing helped her on her way through the psychological trauma her condition had wrought upon her. Each performance then became a triumph over adversity, with that story igniting a chord in the hearts of fans who had seen far more than a talent. There stood a girl who had fought to be alive. This original journey was a testimony that music was the bridge between pain and healing, and Angelica fully embraced that bridge. America's Got Talent journey. In 2017, Angelica Hale stunned audiences and judges alike when she stepped onto the America's Got Talent stage during season 12. Just 9 years old at the time, she delivered a soul-stirring rendition of Andra Day's Rise Up, which brought many in the audience to tears. Her story of overcoming a life-threatening illness, paired with her vocal maturity, instantly made her a standout contestant. Judges Simon Cowell, Heidi Klum, Mel B, and Howie Mandel were visibly moved, sending her through to the next round with unanimous praise. For the Judge Cuts round, Angelica performed Alicia Keys' Girl on Fire, a fitting anthem for her personal journey. Her commanding performance caught the attention of guest judge Chris Hardwick, who was so impressed that he hit the golden buzzer, an honor that sent Angelica directly to the live shows. The moment was emotionally charged, cementing her status as a favorite to win and making her one of the youngest ever to receive the coveted buzzer in AGT history. Angelica's growth as an artist came in tandem with her progress through the competition. The quarterfinal performance of Clarity by Zedd and the semifinal performance of Without You by David Guetta oh so easily got her those standing ovations. In the finals, the show was all hers with Symphony by Clean Bandit and Zara Larsson, then joined with Kelly Clarkson in Stronger, What Doesn't Kill You, with fellow finalist Kechi Okwuchi. Each time, she not only showcased her entire range of voice, but emotionally connected to those songs far beyond her years. Despite her spectacular performances, she enjoyed the second place behind Darcy Lynn, the singing ventriloquist. At the tender age of 10, she made history as the youngest runner-up ever on AGT. But that wasn't the end of her story. It was, rather, the beginning of her rise to stardom all around the world. Her presence became a blessing for the show, which, besides being a competition, became a harbinger of the reality for AGT that from now on, talent and heart can conquer any odds. The AGT journey of Angelica has initiated a much larger cultural conversation about the emotional strength of youth voices in mainstream media. Entertainment Tonight called her a force of nature in a pint-sized package, yet Billboard remembered how her performances gave depth and meaning beyond her years. The extent to which she could touch audiences so deeply at such a young age started to question the stereotype of what these kids are capable of artistically and emotionally in talent competitions. Return on AGT. Angelica Hale's return to the America's Got Talent stage in 2019 for AGT, The Champions, was both a symbolic and strategic move. At age 11, she re-entered the spotlight with more maturity and an even stronger vocal command than during her season 12 run. AGT, The Champions brought together top acts from around the world, winners, finalists, and unforgettable talents, and Angelica's invitation alone was a testament to her lasting impact. For many viewers, her reappearance felt like a homecoming, and her return sparked widespread excitement across social media. For her comeback performance, Angelica chose Rachel Platten's Fight Song, an anthem of empowerment and resilience that paralleled her own story. Her rendition brought Judge Howie Mandel to his feet, and he pressed the golden buzzer, catapulting her straight into the finals. This made Angelica the first contestant in AGT history to receive the golden buzzer twice, a rare and remarkable feat. Mandel praised her not only for her vocal strength but for her undeniable fight and spirit, solidifying her place as one of the show's most iconic performers. Angelica took the stage for an encore performance of Impossible by Chantel, a brutally emotional song that gave her the chance to show off the emotional depth and control she felt she had developed since her first run. Standing ovations were commendable from the judges, who were fighting back tears while trying to describe her ability to convey such deep pain and hope through song. What impressed her even more, though, was the everlasting memory her performance had made and how that had widened her fan base worldwide. Fame was not the only thing that made Angelica's return distinctive. An artist with a heart, Angelica maintained her humility from her childhood days, and this resonated deeply with the fans. The whole Champions run validated her growth as an artist, because she had proved that she was no longer seen as a child prodigy, but a full performer competing with the best in the world. The exposure served to further translate her into serious artist status, on the verge of moving beyond being a reality competitor and stepping into long-term superstardom. Another distinct factor regarding Angelica's comeback was her recognition that this time the platform could serve as a medium to subtly redefine her entire image, not just through performance, but through presentation. She presented a more polished, mature aura via styling and stage confidence to mirror her slow transition from a young artist. Critics and fans alike noted her growth emotionally and professionally, with many comments referring to the fact that Angelica had changed vocally. Media outlets regarded her as a rising role model for young performers in the spotlight, positing that, with grace in her stance, her appearance on AGT, The Champions was more than a reunion, it was a relaunch. Major performances and media appearances. Angelica's life post-AGT has been packed with high-profile performances, signaling her transition from television contestant to celebrated vocalist. One of her earliest standout appearances was at the U.S. Open Men's Semifinals in 2015, where she sang "America the Beautiful" in front of thousands at Arthur Ashe Stadium. This performance introduced her to a national audience outside the AGT viewership and demonstrated that she could shine on massive stages. Her list of major performances continued to grow as she was invited to sing the national anthem at several NFL games, including a Dallas Cowboys versus Atlanta Falcons matchup at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in her hometown of Atlanta. She also performed at Heinz Field during the rivalry game between the Pittsburgh Steelers and Baltimore Ravens, captivating fans with her poise and vocal strength. These experiences not only exposed her to new audiences, but also showcased her ability to handle the pressure of performing live at major televised events. In November 2017, Angelica was one of the highlighted entertainers in the 91st Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, where she sang Alicia Keys' "Girl on Fire" while aboard the float for Sprout. The nationally televised event gave her another big opportunity to show off her talent, which she exploited fully, becoming one of that year's parade's noteworthy performers. Around that same time frame, she also appeared on Steve Harvey's Little Big Shots and awed the audience with a beautiful rendition of "I'll Be There," establishing herself as a young star endowed with a mature, emotional voice. To cap off her busy year, Angelica went on America's Got Talent Live tour with other Season 12 contestants. The tour traveled multiple cities and was a great opportunity for her to gain experience performing consistently in front of huge live audiences. The shows helped build stamina, hone her live performance skills, and further connect with her fans. All in all, these big appearances contributed significantly to her evolution and cemented her name as a versatile young performer in high demand. As Angelica's international presence grows, it thus strengthens her opportunity for collaboration not only with performance-related activities, but also in cross-cultural initiatives and events in youth empowerment forums. In 2021, she participated in virtual panels and global live streams centered around youth resilience and creative expression, sharing her stories and experiences not just as a performer, but also as a young survivor and advocate. These platforms provided Angelica with the opportunity to meet with international youth organizations and fan communities in Asia, Europe, and North America. Being able to present her story in these settings while encouraging other young people to pursue their dreams despite their challenges positioned her beyond just a singer. She became a global youth role model in her own right, trying to use her voice in more ways than one. But Angelica wasn't done impressing crowds. Her next stage would be far bigger than she ever imagined. International exposure and tours. Angelica Hale's transition from national talent to global performer began in earnest in 2019 when she joined the TNT Boys on their Listen the World Tour as a special guest. The Filipino boy band had already gained a significant following, and her inclusion in their lineup was not only a nod to her Filipino heritage, but also a strategic pairing of two young, vocally gifted acts. Angelica performed in major cities, including Los Angeles and Edmonton, where her renditions of powerhouse ballads brought audiences to their feet. Her performances during the tour featured iconic songs such as Mariah Carey's Hero and Whitney Houston's Greatest Love of All, reinforcing her status as a vocalist capable of tackling the most challenging material. Canadian audiences were particularly receptive, and her ability to engage with fans across borders signaled her emergence as a global artist. The international exposure introduced her to a broader demographic and helped establish her as more than just a reality TV star. Angelica's illness brought an early end to her tour, a sad echo of the health adversities that had shadowed her early years. Disappointing to her and her fans, it served to bring to the fore the strength and resilience of Angelica's character. Angelica stayed online and very much active, giving amusing updates, performing via live streams, and interacting with her growing international fan base during her time away from the concert stage. Apart from the TNT Boys Tour, Angelica has performed at other major global events, from the 2018 NHL game between the Ottawa Senators and Florida Panthers, where she sang both national anthems, to the Celebrity Fight Night with David Foster in a high-profile charitable event that was attended by some A-listers. Each of these international performances has achieved for her a kind of revelation, broadening her perspectives and enhancing her appeal on the international platform. In addition to her world tour, Angelica's international visibility has meant that she is seen as a symbol of representation for, especially, young Asian American artists breaking into mainstream Western entertainment. Proudly Filipino-American, she has appeared in interviews and media outlets like ABS-CBN and Philippine Star, where she talked about embracing her background while performing on global stages. "It means a lot to me to represent my Filipino heritage. I want other kids who look like me to believe they can do this too," Angelica said in a 2020 interview. That's why her international tours and events don't just give the world a taste of her talent, but also add to the growing movement for Asian representation in the global arts scene, an important cultural milestone in an industry that continues to push for inclusivity and diversity. Angelica's journey into songwriting and recording. Angelica Hale began her transition from cover artist to original music creator at the age of 11, a bold move that marked the next evolution in her career. Drawing from her own life experiences, especially her battle with illness and recovery, she wrote songs centered around resilience, self-belief, and hope. In 2019, she released her debut single, Feel the Magic, a powerful pop anthem that encapsulates her journey and dreams. The track was followed by a music video that premiered on her YouTube and Facebook pages, where her growing online community embraced her shift into songwriting. Her first EP, also titled Feel the Magic, showcased a mature, polished sound and included tracks like Overcome, which delved deeper into the emotional challenges she has faced. Angelica collaborated with professional producers and co-writers, allowing her to develop a more refined artistic voice. The EP was made available on major streaming platforms such as Spotify, iTunes, and Amazon Music, signaling her readiness to be recognized not only as a singer, but as a songwriter with a story worth telling. It also marked a departure from her AGT image and allowed her to connect with fans through original narratives. Building toward her win, Angelica dropped a Christmas-themed EP, Christmas Wonder, in 2018, and then in 2019, Joy to the World. The projects featured her interpretations of classic Christmas songs with more modern arrangements to suit her style of singing. The holiday music was lauded for its warmth and youthful vivacity and rapidly became a family staple every holiday season. These holiday releases also solidified her position as a family-gentle artist who could bridge generations through timeless music. For the next few years, she released several singles, and with each song, her confidence in her songwriting kept increasing. Some of these songs were No Time to Waste, of which part of the proceeds would create awareness for Sepsis Alliance, Looking Up, and Set a Place at Your Table. With each song that she wrote, she introduced elements of empowerment against a backdrop of vulnerability. giving rise to Angelica not just as a gifted vocalist, but as a storyteller. With every release, she was more about defining her identity as an artist, real-life stories, youthful determination, and boundless heart. Angelica's entry into songwriting is more than an entry into the art. It also connects to a broader cultural shift towards authenticity and emotional transparency in music and among Gen Z artists. For a fact, she has spoken in several interviews about the way she wants to write music that helps people feel less alone. Eilish and Rodrigo have similar songs, echoing that experience of personal storytelling to global audiences. Healing and inner strengths portray as lyrical themes in the case of Angelica, which represents the incoming demand for music portraying reality, struggle, and triumph. It opens up with themes of her past while composing catchy melodies that are comforting to place her in a new generation of artists, shifting traditions towards being both vulnerable through song and empowering. Acting career and Broadway aspirations. Angelica Hale's success in music naturally expanded into acting, beginning with her role in the 2022 musical film American Reject. In the movie, she played Anna, a bright and hopeful young girl who uplifts a former reality show contestant struggling with disappointment and insecurity. Her character served as a narrative mirror to Angelica's own life, someone who has found strength and identity through performing. Critics praised her performance for its sincerity, noting that she held her own alongside seasoned actors while bringing heart and humor to the screen. Her talent for performance also translated into voice acting, beginning with her role as Peggy the Polar Bear in Disney Junior's TOTS. Her cheerful and expressive voice made her a natural fit for children's programming, and her ability to convey emotion through voice alone impressed many. She later voiced Ty in the special Celebrate Chuggington and took on the lead role in Maya Unstoppable, an empowering series about a young girl who overcomes challenges through courage and creativity. These projects highlighted her versatility and introduced her to a younger generation of fans. Maybe most ambitious in her acting achievements would have been 2025, when she made her Broadway debut in Boop, the musical, an updated rendition of the classic Betty Boop franchise. Angelica played Trisha, an important new character who helps reimagine Boop's world for modern-day spectators. The show opened at the Broadhurst Theatre and received rave reviews, praising Angelica for her presence, vocal performance, and energy. The role demanded a combination of live singing, acting, and dancing, all disciplines she honed through years of training and experience. Her exploits in film, voice, and stage acting demonstrate a multidimensional talent truly beyond her years. Angelica seized the opportunities given to her, but with all the authenticity and tenacity that has characterized her music career. With a strong fan base to support her and growing respect within the entertainment industry, she is a rising voice in the realm of musical theater and family media. If anything defines her increasingly artistic path, it is the love of storytelling, whether through song, animation, or in-person performances. Besides scripted roles, Angelica has taken on opportunities in live television and special event performances that straddle the lines between acting and music. She has appeared in holiday specials, celebrity galas, and televised charity events where she performed songs, hosted lighthearted segments, and engaged in character-driven antics. Through these appearances, she has honed her improvisation, audience engagement, and live broadcast skills, which are essential for any artist who intends to work in the field for a long time. With every event, it is clearly brought forth that Angelica is so much more than a vocalist. She is a complete entertainer who can hold a spotlight in any form. Philanthropy and advocacy work. Angelica Hale has transformed her personal health challenges into a powerful platform for advocacy, dedicating herself to raising awareness about kidney disease and sepsis. In 2017, she became the first-ever Kid Ambassador for the National Kidney Foundation, NKF, a role that allowed her to share her journey as a kidney transplant recipient and promote the importance of kidney health. Through public service announcements, live-streamed fundraisers, and appearances on Capitol Hill, Angelica has worked tirelessly to encourage organ donation and support for those affected by kidney disease. Her efforts have been instrumental in bringing attention to the critical need for kidney health awareness and the life-saving impact of organ donation. In addition to her work with the NKF, Angelica has been a passionate advocate for sepsis awareness. As a survivor of sepsis at the age of 4, she partnered with the Sepsis Alliance to launch the It's About Time campaign, aiming to educate the public on the early signs and symptoms of sepsis. Her involvement in this initiative has been recognized with the 2018 Aaron K. Flatley Spirit Award. Honoring her commitment to using her voice to save lives, Angelica's advocacy emphasizes the importance of timely medical intervention and has contributed significantly to public understanding of this life-threatening condition. In addition to her national campaigns, Angelica actively works with various health organizations and hospitals to inspire and support patients. She has performed for Children's Miracle Network hospitals, visited patients at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta, and taken part in programs at Seacrest Studios, bringing hope and encouragement through music and her personal story. These engagements testify to her commitment to supporting those with health challenges through the far-reaching power of empathy and resilience. Angelica Hale's philanthropic undertakings stem from her own experiences, which contribute to her determination to inspire others by telling her survival story. She continues to change the lives of many by using her platform to advocate for vital health issues, representing the spirit of compassion and advocacy. Her work raises awareness and serves as a guiding light for those traversing similar health pathways. In addition to advocacy events and hospital visits, Angelica has also participated in charitable performances and benefit concerts nationwide. She has participated in Celebrity Fight Night, which raises funds for cancer research and children's hospitals, often sharing the stage with prominent figures in entertainment and philanthropy. Her performances at such events are more than just musical contributions. They serve as emotional touchstones for connecting audiences with the causes she supports. Whether singing solo or performing with other artists, Angelica continues to meld her musical skill with a profound sense of purpose, reinforcing her role not only as a performer but also as a young humanitarian committed to healing through voice and action. Her voice has reached crowds, but wait until you see how she's mastering the digital world. Angelica Hale's digital influence. Angelica Hale's success in music and acting is matched by her powerful presence in the digital space. Her official YouTube channel, which features a mix of music videos, vlogs, and live performances, has amassed over 3.36 million subscribers and continues to grow steadily. Fans flock to her channel not just for entertainment, but for inspiration and a sense of connection. On Instagram, she engages over 1.5 million followers with personal insights, behind-the-scenes content, and moments from both her performances and daily life. Her genuine personality shines through in her posts, making her one of the most relatable young figures in the entertainment world. Her digital influence extends beyond traditional social media. On TikTok, where authenticity and creativity are king, Angelica regularly shares singing challenges, lighthearted clips, and moments with her family, further broadening her audience. She's also been successful on Facebook, where she has over 3.9 million followers, an impressive number that showcases her cross-generational appeal. Whether she's promoting her music, raising awareness for a cause, or just posting a silly video with her sister, Angelica understands how to leverage each platform uniquely. Angelica launched her own online store selling branded merchandise, ranging from apparel and accessories to Christmas-themed objects, thereby capitalizing on her popularity. Her merchandise makes her fans feel part of her journey and showcases her style and messaging's evolution. Angelica has also signed brand endorsement partnerships that are in line with her image for youth empowerment, creativity, and positive messaging. This further helps with her income generation while staying true to herself and appealing. As of late 2024, Angelica Hale's estimated net worth is around $3 million, a very impressive number for someone of her age. Her revenues come from music royalties, concert tours, acting projects, brand partnerships, and monetization on YouTube. Beyond these numbers, what differentiates her is her ability to stay relevant, relatable, and grounded. She is undoubtedly an evolving creator, performer, and advocate. Her journey is far from over, and she still has some best chapters ahead. Angelica also utilized her digital platforms to rival fans through interactive content, such as her live Q&As, virtual concerts, and even collaborative live streams with other young artists. During the COVID-19 pandemic, she constantly turned to online sources to not only maintain her presence, but also lift others with online performances and happy words. She even started a short-lived cooking series with her younger sister, adding fun, personal, and this time, a different face to her brand by showing fans a different side of her when off stage. This demonstrates her creativity in using the platform to help her adapt and develop instinctively to turn challenges into new ways to engage and grow. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, drop a comment, and subscribe for more inspiring stories just like this. And hey, don't go anywhere. Click on the next video on your screen to keep watching. See you there.